up the Villa saying where you know this deal already. I don't speak for all Villa fans, but all Villa fans can speak. Let's get straight into it. News. Martinez. We're going to Manchester United. They're wrong. We're going to Juve instead. I'm joking. Aston Villa latest. Juve stepping up interest in Martinez. So Juventus have stepped up their interest in Emi Martinez, according to Sky in Italy. The Italian club are now confident the player would sign for them if a deal can be agreed with Villa. It is believed Juventus are yet to directly approach Villa, and talks are ongoing via what? Can't say that word. Intermediaries. Intermediaries. What? Something. Talks are just running, you know? I mean, what it's looking like at the moment is I think they've agreed on fees and wages and stuff like that for Martinez. Don't quote me on this, but I'm sure they have. So it would be looking like Villa would have to be looking for a replacement keeper for the summer as well. Yeah, it's one of them ones, isn't it? Life. I'm sure someone has said as well in regards to that he Martinez wants to close off his career at the team at Juve. So I'm sure someone said about a 3-year deal. Let me double check on that. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, it's looking like Villa, we would need to kind of scout a goalkeeper. AVFC.hub on the gram, shout out them. Juventus are very close to a total agreement with Emi Martinez on his contract details. So the deal on the player's side is one step away, with the 33-year-old preparing to accept a 3-year deal, as we said. New contact between all parties is expected soon to define all of the details. The club are now awaiting negotiations with Aston Villa to heat up who would be in need of finding a replacement of a similar level. He brought charisma, brought character to the team. The question is, who do we replace him for now then? In other news, Aston Villa are amongst the multiple admirers for Morgan Gibbs-White from Nottingham Forest, despite already having players in his favoured position. More could develop as the window progresses, with Tottenham, Chelsea and Manchester United also interested. If clubs were to active their interest in Morgan Rogers, then Villa would have the 26-year-old high on their list. Nottingham Forest would ideally want to keep the player for another season after signing a new contract last season via Simon Jones. I'd love Gibbs-White at the team. I'll be real. I'd love Gibbs-White at the team. However, I want to see his stance in terms of Nottingham Forest, because I'm hearing he doesn't want to leave like Nottingham Forest. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple of players that don't really want to leave their teams. Another player, and I'll keep on bringing him up, and I think he'll fit well into our squad, Jared Bowen. But what I'm hearing is he doesn't want to leave West Ham, which fair enough. He's loyal to his team, whatever, loyal to his squad. But it would be a big benefit for him to be at Aston Villa. But I get it. He probably wants to help West Ham get back into the Prem, which, you know, it's kind of like what Grealish did with us, you know what I mean? So I kind of understand it. However, it would make sense to just join the villains, you know, and sign Jared Bowen, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. There's no updates on the Rodgers situation. I'm presuming, that because he's at the England, well, because he's in America with the England squad, then he doesn't want to really talk on that much. Like, you wouldn't want to get distracted by transfer news whilst playing on the England squad for the World Cup. It's a big tournament. There's no point. You know what I'm saying? So there's no updates in regards to that. But in terms of Morgan Gibbs White, that's a shout. I'd love that. It is what it is. Bit of a segue. Drove past the Aston Villa ground yesterday. Saw they're doing some refurbishments, and yeah, man, I'm liking it. You know what I'm saying? Upgrading the stadium. I'm sure we've got the Euros 2028, and I'm sure Villa's listed as one of the stadiums. So yeah, they were updating. Well, they had construction works. I'm sure it was the Doug Ellis stand. I can't remember. But I drove past it yesterday and I was like, yeah, man, this is good. I like to see it. Even though it's for other events. But yeah, just take care of the stadium, man. Take care of the stadium and, just make it nice. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, it's good to see. And the vibe around the area as well is good, man. It's good. There's not that much updates with Villa, really. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. England had their friendly against Costa Rica yesterday. Ali got a goal. You know what I'm saying? So maybe, hopefully, that will be many goals within the competition. Let's go on to the England squad, actually. Let's segue to the England squad. Because... actually, it's just this headline's just come up on my phone. Perfect. Jude Bellingham over Morgan Rogers at number 10. What we've learnt from England's World Cup training camp in Florida. Jude, okay then. The battle of the youngsters. Jude or Morgan Rogers at this point in time. Me personally, yeah, I would take Morgan at the number 10 right now, only because I feel like the chemistry that he has with the England squad will be more, it would be stronger and more similar way of football in terms of, okay, they've played, most of the England squad play together in terms of the Prem. Couple off in the Bundesliga and blah blah blah, you know what I'm saying? But in terms of gelling wise, I think Morgan will gel better than Jude. Not to discredit Jude's ability, but I don't really watch the Spanish league like that, so I'm not too sure how football's like over there. I'm sure it's high quality, but yeah, I think Jude Bellingham in the Prem. Jude Bellingham in the Prem. Actually, Villa, would you take Jude? If Jude, for let's say, for example, Jude was on a free transfer from Real Madrid this summer. You get me? Contract done. Free transfer. Would you take a Jude at man said Birmingham? Would you take a Jude at Villa? Jude Bellingham. And where would you play him? I need to look up how he plays, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't really take into account the Spanish leagues and other leagues like that. I need to see for myself how it is. But Jude Bellingham in the Prem, does he do well? But I think for this question here, I'd definitely take a Morgan Rogers over Jude at the moment. Slap Jude on the bench, super sub, fresh legs. He'll do wonders, in my opinion. And I feel like if you're slapped on the bench, you've got more to prove as well. So it's like, okay, cool. When I step onto the pitch, this is what I'm gonna do. Let me show you what I want. You know what I mean? So yeah, would you take a Jude? Jude. Jude Bellingham. It'd be a sticky one. Yeah. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm gonna start waffling because there's not much. There's not really that much to say at the moment. But yeah, man, that's the number one question. I'm gonna title this Jude or Morgan. Nah, Morgan or Jude for the number 10 spot in England. Who you picking? And comment down below where do you think in the whole competition England will land. Me personally, not to discredit England, but I feel like we'll flop it this year. I'm sure we're definitely top 4 contenders for winning the World Cup in terms of squad wise. The squad we've got is strong. You know what I'm saying? It could have been stronger. Obviously, there's certain decisions that my man made. But you know, it is what it is. But with the team that's arrived in America, they do look like a strong team. Do we get to the quarters, semis, or even the finals? England's just shaky. England is like the UK weather. Like, it teases you, but then suddenly thunderstorms. That's all I can say. That's how I can describe England. It's like, okay, cool. We're doing well. Then it's just a massive flop. And it will flop to a bang on average team. So I see England getting to the quarters and flopping. I'll be real. I don't see England getting to the semis. If we do get to the semis, then that's cool. Depending on who we had in the semi-finals, will determine if I can't even say that, because even if we had a dead team in the semi-finals, then somehow we'll lose and flop it anyway, like how England do. As I said, England's squad is like the UK weather. But big up the boys anyway. Every time, all the time. You know what I mean? Just bring it home if you can. I'm not going to shout it out and scream and shout, but if you can bring it home, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind if you brought it home. You get me? Like, I'm not demanding it because it is what it is. Because we know England already. But if you do want to and you decide to turn up and decide to come close to bringing it home, just, yeah, man, I wouldn't mind bringing the trophy back home to England from America. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind. But it is what it is. Up the Villa TV. Up the Villa same way. You know the drill. A channel for all Villa fans. I don't speak for all Villa fans, but all Villa fans can speak on this channel. Comment down your thoughts below. Jude Bellingham or Morgan Rogers. Would you take Gibbs White and Martinez? Who would you replace for him right now within this summer? Take care.